how do you intend on running the news?
Well, the news will work as any other news, in that you will have the news platforms that I would respect are news platforms that are objective. And that objectivity comes from debate. So when you have two opposing views, you let them debate and you have a mediator in the center. What we will watch and commonly call news are news stories when they're read to you. Now, of course, you will have reports, but when it comes to debates of diametrically opposing opinion, you should objectively be able to decide who won that debate and what was factual and what wasn't. So when we speak about facts now, not social truths, universal truths, they're open to 360 degrees of scrutiny. So when Tony Blair said, well, it's weapons of mass destruction, 45 degrees in, oh, Tony, you lied to us. There's no weapons, baby. Well, it's Operation Free the People. But when terrorism went through the roof, T, come on, baby, come again. And hey, don't ask Tony to come again, because he will. But you see, when you say something and it's open to 360 degrees of scrutiny, that just happened to be a universal fact. I prefer it that way. Mm-hmm. So when you watch Newsnight and you may watch a debate, you could have the Israeli Defense Force saying this, and then you could have a Palestinian Authority saying that, and there's a debate, and there was Paxman in the middle, and then me as an objective free thinker can say it went that way or it went that way. But we didn't write a news story and present it to you at 6:30 when you got home from work and you look a dizzy, or at 8:30 in the morning when you look a simple and hungry, and say this is the case.
So you ain't going to be trying to persuade people to think a certain way?
Everything persuades people to think in a particular way. But what I don't think is correct is that you should falsely propagate people. The greatest lie you can tell is omission. When you omit any fact, you are propagating people. And that propagation is usually negative. Omission is the greatest lie you can tell. It's what you don't say.
So you're saying you're trying to be honest and transparent with your news network?
Let's leave the term honesty out of it. Let's just be factual. Because facts are open to 360 degrees of scrutiny. It's not about being first. It's not about being quick. It's about being right. You're obligated to be correct in what you report. And especially when you're dealing with young minds that are forming. It should be ethical.
Yeah. The reason I said honesty is because omission
is a lie.
Yeah. But honest is like when you express, to me, this is my understanding of honesty, is when, in terms of, as opposed to omission, is if somebody asks you a question, you can tell them everything you respond can be the truth.
Yeah.
But as you said, you can leave out crucial pieces of information that
represents
you
your
think,
argument.
Yeah, that you think they want to hear about. So you've told them the truth. You've told them truth, but it's not the whole truth, innit?
It's a social truth.
Yeah.
So this is my point.
But this is what I'm saying. This is what I call honesty, though. This is how if it's going to be honest.
But this is how the news
everything.
will actually run. So you have a number of researchers that are news gathering for stories. And those researchers won't be suppressed in their findings, you understand? So when you have news that is coming from a number of sources, it has to be confirmed that it's factual. That's why I say, the key is not to be first. The key is to be factual. Or it's not news. When you watch the Fox network, you're just watching propaganda after propaganda after propaganda that backs up a white supremacist line. That is not news. If you choose to sit down and call it news, for your business. But that's not what news is. News is where you are presented with facts, possibly differing opinions and social truths, but are allowed to decipher what the actual truth is based on what you're presented with. You see the beauty of debate? you're gonna get the whole of the story.
And you see, you said it's gonna be, the audience is gonna be like anybody can watch the thing, innit? Who's gonna be the actual staff? Is it gonna be a strictly black thing, or is it gonna be open to everybody working in terms of not just behind the scenes?
Like any company, everybody will come.
Like presenters.
It happens that as the CEO, in the first instance, the vast majority of the talents that I'm bringing on board are African Caribbean. But just like Europeans, when they start a business, that's who they know. Now, for me, the most important thing for us is
best person for the job.
At some stage. And the best person for the job who's African Caribbean, who I've found at this stage, is how it starts out. Now, when it comes to ownership, we don't have any representation in mass media ownership. In the States, you do, but here we don't. And it's very important that we have a platform that can actually answer and articulate on behalf of African Caribbean people. Now, just like you have in EastEnders that will have, as many of us are involved in their stories, it will be exactly the same for Indigo. In the fact that you will have certain news anchors, it will be exactly the same in Indigo. It's going to be proportional, isn't it? Based on what it is in our world, which is fair.
From your
Yeah? Man, say it straight. Man, don't listen to BBC. Man, don't listen to ITV.
The only thing I will say is that the rhetoric we've been conveying to date for creating ownership ceases to come about because when you call to action,